Hey guys, I'm Sean,
I'm David.
and today we're going to do our project over the fluid dynamics that goes into a lot of these racing vehicles. Now, the reason why we're doing this is because both of us are actually car nuts. We love cars, but we also understand that, engineers, they put a lot of time and effort into these cars, and oftentimes, people don't really get to see it because they're more focused on the actual beauty of the vehicle. So this project not only allows y'all to get a better understanding for this, but it also allows for you guys to appreciate what the engineers, have to do, so that way they can comply with a lot of regulations while still maintaining a beautiful vehicle that, people would like to see on the road. So before we start on the analysis, I think, David, would you like to go over a few key terms for our viewers?
So there are four main concepts when we're talking about increasing the performance of the vehicle. Starting with the first force, we're going to be talking about drag. Drag is a force exerted from a fluid stream that is felt by a vehicle going through it. Reducing this force greatly improves the car's efficiency, and it's able to cut through the air better. So, while we want to reduce drag in most areas of the car, there are certain areas we want to increase drag, which then creates downforce, which helps the car stick to the ground better. And also, that downforce will decrease lift, which causes this.
Here we go. Oh my God, the Mercedes has taken off.
Going into the last definition, ground effect, in simple terms, is when the vehicle is sucked to the ground, which is good until this happens. This is Carlos Sainz's Ferrari from the Las Vegas Grand Prix that exerts a ground effect so strong that it lifts a manhole cover up, causing major damage to the chassis of the vehicle.
So let's get into the actual analysis of the cars. Now, we forgot to record footage of us traveling to Houston, so here's what it looked like going over there. Now let's actually get into the analysis. This is the McLaren Speedtail. It is one of McLaren's most iconic one-off series cars. It's also one of McLaren's most, aerodynamically beautiful looking cars. And frankly, it's also one of my favorite cars. So let's get into all the wonderful aerodynamic quirks and features. Before we start with the detailed analysis, we want to make sure we thank the folks at McLaren of North Houston, and actually I think Indigo Automotive Group, for allowing us to film out here. I didn't expect to be able to come out here and film supercars, but you know what? These guys are very passionate about it. They know what we want to do, and as long as we don't cause trouble around $1 million worth of supercars, then I think we should be good. But for the most part, we're going to take a look at this beautiful machine. Do you have any questions, anything that you want to go on about? Because I'm pretty sure there are some stuff that you want to see, David.
Yeah, so my first question is, what's going on with the car and these little wheel caps?
So, these wheel caps are actually something that we don't see on a lot of cars. The main purpose of them is to help with the way how air flows around the wheel. As some of you guys might know, whenever you have a wheel that turns, it creates practically turbulent air. And turbulent air is something that will impact the performance of the car. Something like the Speedtail, you would see it do a lot of straight line speed with how aerodynamic it is, or how sleek this car is. So just doing something small like that helps with reducing drag and also all the turbulence that may be associated with the turbulence within there.
So I got another question. So what about these vents in the car right here?
So these vents actually serve multiple different purposes. Obviously the first one is for airflow, but if you guys see how big these brakes are, I mean, it's hard to see because of that cover, but if you guys see how big those brakes are, you guys gotta understand, this car is going at least 200 miles per hour, and it's also gonna be stopping very fast. So, and it sounds weird to say stopping very fast, but you gotta stop somehow, especially if you're going that fast. So what happens is that the brakes generate a lot of heat, and that heat needs to go somewhere. In fact, if that brake heats up, well, it's going to impact its performance. So having this vent helps allow for air to actually cool down the brakes but also, if you look closely, right behind the actual wheel going into the wheelbase of the vehicle, you would see that there's another vent. You see that? That beautiful vent? Beautiful engineering that McLaren is very well known for. So that vent actually helps allow for the heat to dissipate out away from the car, thus helping with its braking performance.
So I got another question.
Yeah, what's up?
Probably a big one.
Yeah.
Where are the side view mirrors?
That's a good question. So, believe it or not, I don't think this car is really legal because here in the States, there's a regulation that does not allow for this, and that is camera mirrors. So you guys see that cutout right there? That cutout is actually the camera. So going back to the topic of the car being super slippery, super sleek, they implement the camera in there so that way, or they implement that camera to where it reduces drag. So whenever the vehicle is on and probably doing some of its daily driving in the streets of Europe or in the UK, that camera would actually pop out. And if you look closely on the inside over here, you guys, you see that, David? You see those screens? Yep. Those screens are the mirrors. So just another way how McLaren is trying to reduce drag on the car. And for those of you guys wondering what drag is, well, drag is something that if, let's say, you want to go super fast in a straight line, it's something that you want to reduce. Drag, it's like getting pulled back, right? You have all this air and you need to make sure that the car is able to cut through this air just like a butter through butter. So one of the ways how McLaren also does that, and I'm pretty sure you were going to ask this question, is by increasing the tail of the car. So if you guys see how slippery the car is or how long this tail is, you know, this is like longer than your conventional car. You will see that it's like, it can actually be coming through the back right here. Look at that. So it's low, very low to the ground, which also helps with creating a ground effect where it sucks the car to the ground. And I'm pretty sure we've probably heard of ground effect in Formula One, especially with you know, what happened over the weekend at the time of filming with Carlos Sainz sucking up a drain hole cover and messing up his $1 million Formula One car. But if you also see right here, you can see at the bottom, look at that. Look at those tunnels right there. These tunnels help increase the velocity of air coming through the bottom and also allowing for the car to be able to be sucked down to the ground better. And also, if you look closely too, you would see that there's this similar vents going through the back right here to help relieve heat that's coming off of the wheels. It's a very, very beautiful piece of machinery, even from an aesthetics point of view, but also from a engineering perspective. This car is no joke, and the engineers at McLaren definitely know what they were doing whenever they were designing this. Time to accelerate. All right, so right now, hopefully I still have my voice from oohing over the Speedtail. Right now we're here at Lamborghini, just like same auto group, same everything, and same friendly people here. So right here, what is in front of me is the Lamborghini Huracan STO, and probably one of my most favorite cars to date. You could tell the design language between this car and also the McLaren. The McLaren, you see it, it's more sleek, it's much more elegant, much more upscale, and as a correction, that McLaren was $4 million due to appreciation. So if you want to get yourself a McLaren Speedtail, that's how much you expect yourself to be paying for that. But on the other hand, this car, I believe, ranges from $300,000 to $500,000. This is a special edition Lamborghini, or special edition Huracan. This is actually built for the track, as you can tell by a lot of the aero bits that you see right here. So when you saw the McLaren, that car was much more sleeker, like I said. But when you look at this, you can see that there's a bunch of different types of vents in here. You know, different types of aero bits, different types of, air all over the place. and this is to help with performance. Now, if we go back to one of our concepts, there's the concept of drag. And earlier I said drag is not good, but depending on the certain application where you generate drag, it's actually pretty helpful. So in the McLaren sense, you know, it was much more sleek, so you didn't want to have drag if you're going to go for straight lines. With this car right here, it's utilizing drag to its advantage to help increase grip whenever it goes on the track. So what do I mean by that? Well, Lamborghini has a system called ALA, or ALA. It's called Aerodinamica Lamborghini Attiva, and it's Italian. Hopefully I didn't butcher that. But what it does is it allows for different panels or different flaps within the car to open and close, similar to a DRS system in, let's say, Formula 1, to help increase the vehicle's performance around the corner. It's hard to see some of these flaps because if you look at the car, you know, there's a lot going on. But most of these flaps are actually hidden inside the actual body panels. If you want, let's come over here and take a look at some of these things too. So the first thing you guys want to notice right here is the roof scoop. Now you guys might look at this and you guys might be like, oh yeah, it's probably just there for aesthetics. No, this is actually sucking in air to help with keeping the engine cool. Similar to how you have a lot of these vents around here to also do the same purpose, to help ventilate all the hot air to get out of there, thus helping with the efficiency and performance of the vehicle. The biggest one is actually this wing. As you guys can see, this is a big wing, and what this wing does is it helps generate downforce. And if you guys know a thing about race cars, is that downforce is key when it comes to increasing, you know, your track lap time, or not increasing it, you know, having better lap times when it comes to going around a track. It's also kind of hard to see, but you guys, I think it's on this one too if you want to take a look. You guys might see a rear diffuser right here. And similar to the McLaren, this one's a little more aggressive, but what this does is it helps increase the air velocity that is underneath the vehicle, thus helping it get sucked down to the ground better, increasing grip, improving lap times. Now, a car like this, you know, you might also notice like how wide and how, you know, muscular it is, but all of these actually serves a purpose. You know, like I said, drag in certain instances is bad, but if used correctly, it can help reduce lift, help improve performance, but also help with, you know, overall vehicle dynamics.
So guys, that's the end of our video.
We hope you guys learned a lot of information from this. We know it's a lot to jam-pack, so you guys might have to rewatch the video. But if you guys are going to rewatch the video, share this with your friends, and hopefully we could get this video to 1 million views, so that way we get 20 extra points on our project. So like we said, we hope you guys enjoy. We hope you'll learn something, and feel free to take some time to observe some of the cars that you might see around here, and hopefully throw those terms and all those concepts to whatever vehicle you're observing. Thank y'all, and have a good day.